First of all, I have a confession for you. I didn't get my first job in television because of my rock-solid 2.8 GPA at the University of Northern Colorado. I didn't get it because of my dulcet baritone. I didn't even get it because of my rugged, handsome, good looks. I got my first job in television because of my size. News director looked at me and says, "That boy can carry some gear." You have to understand that when I got into television 32 years ago, we were just making the transition from film to videotape. Now, a film camera, our typical film camera was a pretty small affair. It was a Bolex 16 millimeter camera, about yay big, weighed about 7 pounds. Maybe a little audio recorder, that was pretty much it. But advancing to videotape, we went to the industry standard TK76 from RCA. Big blue thing about the size of a refrigerator you carried on your shoulder. It weighed 19 pounds, and you had a recorder you had on the other side to record the audio and the tapes are about this big. And that weighed about 24 pounds. And then you added the battery belts, which looked like those scuba diver belts, and they were heavier. The whole thing came with tripod and light stands to about 80 pounds, and they laughingly called it a mini cam. But I got my first job in TV because the news director says that boy could carry some gear. Of course, time and technology have marched on. Things have changed quite a bit. The cameras have gotten a lot smaller. They got a whole lot lighter. We record now on little tiny SD chips. Matter of fact, I carry with me at all times, as I hope you do, you members of the back channel will understand, a video camera. This is a high-definition video camera. I can shoot an entire news story on this camera, plug it into the side of my MacBook Pro, pull out the SD card if I want to transfer the files. I can edit on my Final Cut Pro on my laptop, and then I can upload to an FTP via my 3G wireless Sprint Air card. I don't need satellite trucks, I don't need microwaves, I don't need big cameras or anything like that. So technology has definitely changed in the 32 years that I've been in the business. Just getting nostalgic here with you. Also, who remembers back in the days when there were just 3 TV stations? So when I got started, that's it. That was my competition, 3 TV stations. Maybe a 4th that did creature features or something like that, but I didn't really have to worry about them much. Those were also your choices. Now, of course, having come all these years, we have hundreds of channels on our TV sets. I haven't even found all my channels yet, and I've been looking for years. We have thousands of information websites that we can go get information from like that. And we have millions of people in the social media world who are pointing us to what they consider to be important, relevant, vital information. It's kind of like having millions of tiny little anchors running around the world, giving you the news. But in all this high-tech advancement that we've had over all these years, the one thing has not changed. One thing has stayed consistent. It's the way we give you the news, the way we deliver the news. I talk, you listen. I talk, you listen. We have a meeting every morning in the newsroom. A bunch of people get together. They decide what we're going to tell you today, and we're going to tell you this at 5 o'clock, and you're going to wait till 5 o'clock, and we're going to tell you. Then we talk, you listen. Despite all the technological advances, we talk, you listen. Despite all these millions of information choices we have out there, we talk, you listen. The same way Edward R. Murrow did it, same way we did it, same way we're going to do it tonight. Will it be the same way we do it tomorrow night? That's the big question. We've always offered our viewers feedback options. Please give us a call, write us a letter, send us an email, let us know what you think. It's a secret. We don't really care. We didn't have to. We only had 3 competitions in town. I remember a story once. I was in Colorado Springs, a small TV station. The phone rang, and I picked it up, because we used to do that when phones rang, because we didn't have answering machines and voicemail. Hello. Some woman was just irate because some news car just about run her off the road. I knew it was Randy because Randy was this hellion that when he was on a news story, he was on a mission from God, and there was nothing going to stand in the way of him. So I did the responsible thing and handed the phone to the news director, which we used to do because news directors actually were available. And he is this good old southern boy from Oklahoma, and he picks up the phone and goes, "Yes, ma'am? Mm-hmm. That'd be Randy." "Yeah, oh, okay, hold on a second, man. Hey, Randy, you're fired. Anything else I can do for you, ma'am?" "All right, have a good day." By the way, Randy wasn't fired. He wasn't there. He was chasing a news story someplace. So we got our viewer feedback, and we really didn't care. We didn't have to. We were the only game in town. It's kind of like that story about going hiking, you know, and you run across the bear. You don't have to run faster than the bear. You just have to run faster than the guy you're hiking with. So that was our plan. We just run faster than the other couple games in town. We ignored the basic fact that in our business you had to innovate or die. Meanwhile, all these internet sites were springing up and cable channels were springing up every place like that, doing all sorts of kinds of things, but we just kept on talking and you kept on listening. Fewer of you kept on listening, and fewer kept on listening. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, we hired consultants. And these consultants were going to do our listening for us. So they brought in focus groups. Focus groups are supposed to be these average people who watch television. Actually, they're unemployed people who have nothing better to do than spend their days sitting there eating stale donuts, making their $20 a day to answer stupid questions from consultants. Now, I don't have the exact wording of these questions, but it went something like this. Would you rather watch a vitally important fire that may affect your life or listen to inane anchor banter? Something like that. So out of these consultant meetings was born the annoying breaking news stinger with the jangling music and the flashing graphics that are capable of inducing seizures. Apparently, that's what you wanted. Now, every time I step out the door of my house, every time I go downtown, every time I go to the store, every time I go anywhere, I step right into a focus group, every time, like that. Every time. The only difference is the people I run into aren't telling me what they think I want to hear. They're telling me what they want me to hear from them. It's a different focus group. And I got to tell you right now, in my 30 years, I have not yet once heard, I want to see more vitally important fires that may affect my life. I have not heard once, man, do I love that breaking news stinger. To be fair, I haven't heard I want to hear more inane anchor chatter either, but it's beside the point. What I do hear, and I hear this a lot, is why do you put so much bad news on TV? Why can't you put more good news on TV? So that brings me to the point of this talk here, the birth of the back channel. Now, if you want me to find the back channel for you, it's a group of highly intelligent and witty people much cooler than you. I just made that part up. It's really hard to define the back channel because it's constantly evolving and it seems to be a whole bunch of different stuff to a whole bunch of different people. So what I can do is I can kind of tell you how the back channel started. It started because I was really bored. And I was sitting out on the news set one night during a newscast. I don't know, sometime last winter, I think. I've lost track of time. Happens when you're this age. And I pulled out my BlackBerry, opened up Uber Twitter, and I said, is anybody out there? Because often I wonder. So it's a side effect of, when you talk and you listen. You start wondering if anybody's listening. Well, I was surprised I got a couple answers back, and mainly the answer I got back is this really the guy on the TV? Took us a while to get past that point. A couple little ear tugs, flip of the pencil. I proved it was me. And this conversation went on for a while like that over the next couple of months. It'd be a handful of people every night, and we'd talk, and then, people would ask me some questions, I'd answer some questions. Went pretty much like that until one night when this character named Charlie Curve logged on. Charlie put a tweet on it, said, I bet if I get 100 retweets of this, S. Clark WXYZ will do a silverfish hand catch. Now, I knew I was safe because there was no way there was going to be 100 people even on. There are only a handful of people. Well, much to my amazement, over the next couple of minutes, that stream came alive. And I could see people going outside the group and recruiting people to come into the group. Come on in, this the anchors guy, he's going to do a silverfish hand catch. And this thing was just taking off at warp speed. And I was thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do if we get 100 retweets? I can't do the silverfish hand catch. Does everybody know what the silverfish hand catch is? No. The Old Spice commercials. You know, the guy in the towel, the incredibly chiseled guy in the towel, he did a series for YouTube. And at the end of one of them, he says, and now I'm going to end with a silverfish hand catch. And he puts his hand out and a big silver fish drops into his hand. So now, I got all these people expecting me to do this on television. Come on, tugging the ear is one thing. Flipping a pencil, but catching a fish? So this is going on, and it's just getting incredible, this response from all these people coming in. I don't know if we hit 100. I know we came really, really close, but I figured if nothing else, I do have to do something to acknowledge all these people's efforts on my behalf. So at the very end of the newscast, after we'd said goodnight, I knew we'd go to a wide shot for about 5 seconds. So during that wide shot, I reached my hand out, looked over at Diana, and I just went like this. You know, to the people watching at home, which probably included my boss, they didn't know anything was going on. But the people watching and on Twitter, all those people that had been tweeting all night long, suddenly it went nuclear. That stream lighted up and it kept going all night long. Somebody posted a video of the back channel silverfish hand catch. This thing went on for days, and I started getting calls from radio stations and newspapers all wanting to interview and talk to me about the night that traditional media met social media. And that was the birth of the back channel. Okay, granted, it was all very silly, but I saw something extraordinary happen in that moment. I saw a whole bunch of people who didn't know each other rally around a single point or a single cause to make something happen. And I said, well, what if we turn that same kind of thing into something positive? What if we get those same people to rally around a positive cause? So thus was born what I call Back Channel 2.0. I just come up with these great names. It just comes to me. Back Channel 2.0 was a challenge, really. And I said, okay, you know, I hear from you people all the time that you don't like all this bad news, you want some good news. So my challenge to you is you find me the good news. But I don't want you just to tell about it because talk is cheap. You're passionate people. You all have cell phones with cameras in them. Go out there and take a little video of that compelling picture of that thing. Go get me that interview with that interesting person, post it on YouTube, tag it for the back channel. We'll all take a look at it. And if it looks really good, I'll grab my little junior correspondent gear and I'll run out in the field and I'll shoot the story myself and we'll put this on Channel 7. I got to tell you, the reaction to that was pretty amazing. People loved the idea. Now, the problem I have, the issue I have with it still is I don't have a lot of people taking advantage of it. A few people, matter of fact, I did a story last night on a suggestion sent to me with a video from Patrick Reyes, who's around here someplace. I did a story on Randy Speck, who is superintendent of Oakland Christian schools, about their effort to raise money for a playground in Detroit. That was one of the stories. I've done a couple of the other stories, but I'm amazed that more people haven't followed me up on this offer. I've given you the keys to the T-Bird. I've opened the gates to the castle here. It says, come on, you tell us what you want to see on TV and we'll put it there. But yet you're not quite doing it yet. And I think it might be because you're finding out something that got TV in the trouble we're in right now. People will slow down at car crashes. They'll stop to watch a house burn. Police tape gets them every time. So we in TV started realizing that's really easy for us to shoot. We can get compelling video in one quick stop without even thinking about it. It's harder to tell good stories, which is really why I put that challenge to you. I want you to go out there and figure out a way. I mean, you're smart, passionate people. Figure out a way to do this right there. Back Channel 2.1 was another addition that I kind of added to this because I'm really clever. It's kind of like just an upgrade. I said, while we got this back channel going, everybody who's on the back channel, just if you see something that's newsworthy in your mind, in your life, and in your neighbor's lives, just put it on the back channel, let us all know about it. We'll kind of program our own little TV station. Send pictures, send videos, post it, twit pics and twit vids are easy, put them on there. And that's working out great. Matter of fact, we've gotten a lot of our lead stories for our 11 o'clock newscast based on things that we're getting off the back channel. So you are shaping the news that we're covering. So I'm going to wrap this up then with a further challenge. I'm going to continue to give you the keys to the T-Bird and open the castle doors for you. I want you to do this. I want you to go out here and join the back channel when you have a chance. This conference is about positive change and doing positive things. So find that story that is positive. You have the opportunity now to help change the way that we cover the news because you can help us put those stories on the air. So I guess I finally, in conclusion, have a definition for the back channel. You talk, we listen. Thank you.